All right. So hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our meeting. So I know all of you are excited about the meeting today. I am your co-host. I am your SSA for today evening. It's 8 p.m. now, and I would like to kickstart the meetings. Hasnul has already started. So there are some house rules, and I am going to walk you through some of these house rules. So stay muted at all the times unless your turns or you are being asked to speak. Turn on your webcam so that we can see your pretty or handsome faces. Prepare a glass of water. We will have a toast ceremony later on. Please rename yourself. I have tried to rename some of you, but if I have left someone, please rename yourself. Please don't record or screen capture. Everyone is welcome to be an active and supportive listeners for our speakers tonight. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. With that, I would like to call this meeting to order, and I shall pass the control to Suwan, our Mr. President, for his opening address. Thank you, Suwan.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashu, our Sergeant at Arms for tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our meeting number 164 with the theme Aspire to Inspire Before You Expire. Okay, that's very rhyme. Aspire to inspire before you expire. Okay, well done, Mingyan, for that such a rhyme, and I believe there's quite a deep meaning theme for tonight, meeting 164. So all the guests, to our members, welcome to tonight meeting. And to start off with the meeting on this theme, actually this theme made me ponder into my Toastmaster journey, and I have shared my missions, my why to my mentor before. And he said that, oh, no wonder, Suwan, no wonder why you are so committed to Toastmasters. Actually, this year is my second year into this journey. And why am I so committed to this journey? When I start off this journey, my intentions is simple, which is to master my communication skill, to conquer the fear of public speaking. But now things has changed for me. And when I look into today's theme, I feel like many times in my job, I think that I couldn't perform to the level or to the expectations that I want from myself. Sometimes I even became paranoia. And sometimes I even convinced myself that my management hate me. My colleague hate me. My clients hate me. And sometimes I even ask myself these questions: am I hating myself? Now, my biggest challenge, my biggest fear when it comes to holding this position of president, even though it's my second year in the Toastmaster journey, is what makes me has the capability, or what makes me able to hold this position of presidents for this group of people. I remember there's one time in the COT, Club Officer Training, where all the presidents sit together and we discuss our biggest challenge and our biggest fear. For me, it's always been, am I good enough for the group or good enough for the club? And my journey in Toastmaster right now, I would say the biggest fear is, can I become the same person on the stage and off the stage? Which means even off the stage, when I am alone, when I'm facing with myself, whether I can face myself as the same person on the stage speaking to you right now. And that's my biggest fear. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe we can find inspirations everywhere, even from the song, right? As I listening to one of the song by Whitney Houston, The Greatest Love of All. So what is the greatest love according to Whitney Houston? May I get someone to answer me? Yi? Passively. Oh, okay, no problem. How about anyone knows the answer? You can type in the chat. What is the greatest love of all?
Love of self.
Yes, who is that? Juliana?
It's Josie. I can't type because I'm connected on mobile, so I just thought I'll unmute and speak.
No problem. Yes, you're right. The greatest love is learn to love yourself, which is self-love. And that's the inspirations coming from a song. And the other one is inspiration coming from a Disney movie, Frozen 2. Remember when the sister was facing with some challenges in the cave alone, and when she started to sing this song, take the next right step, and that can be an inspiration too. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in this club, in this community, my hope is simple, is that this club, this community, we are able to create a safe space for everybody to express themselves and to become themselves and to be free of judgment. Yes, free of judgment. Number one, which means in this space, ladies and gentlemen, there is no judgment. Second, there's no repercussions. What say here, stay here. And lastly, that each and every one of you will receive unconditional love from every one of us. And that is the safe space of a Toastmaster Club. And who inspire me? Each and every one of you, because you give me an opportunity to really become myself, to be truly myself, and to embrace myself. Perhaps I can call some of the members to share with us who inspire you, or even how did they inspire you. How about Nicholas? Hi, Nicholas.
Hi, Suwan.
Who inspired you?
Who inspired me? I think so far in my life, a lot of people have inspired me, but I think the person who inspired me most is my grandfather, because my grandfather, when he started out in life, he wasn't very rich, but he had the drive, he had the passion to make sure that future generations like me are able to have a full life. So he worked very, very hard day and night. I remember there was a story where he started working in a shack with no walls and only one small roof. And when the wind came, the roof would fly over. So he really persisted even though during that time. So I'm very grateful and very inspired from him, his drive, his persistence, no matter the hardship. I think, yeah, my grandfather really inspired me, and I try to take those values in so that I can also provide to my future generation as well.
Thank you, Nicholas. Jingman. Hi, Jingman. Who inspire you, Jingman?
Who inspired me the most? First, big time with Nicholas. Yeah, just now when you mentioned grandfather, I'm my grandfather, because my father, he know education can make a people have a totally different journey in life. So he is always encouraging us to have a good education. When some of the neighbor or some of the person he know can't get a good education, then he will giving some help. And also, when I was young, he always collect magazine and my textbook for those neighbor who cannot afford to the magazine. And I think this also make me, when I grow up, then I I learned from him how to give to others. Yeah, when yeah,
Okay. Thanks, Chiman.
thank
We couldn't hear you clearly, I think, because of the line. Who's that again? Is that your grandfather?
yeah, my grandfather.
Ah, okay. Thank you, Jingwan.
Thanks,
And next,
Luan.
ladies and gentlemen, perhaps I would like to invite some of the guests to introduce yourself. How did you find us? And perhaps can tell us who inspired you. And first off, I believe we have a repeat guest, Te. Hi, Te.
Hi. Yeah, I'm from KL. Today is my second time here.
Yep, welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you. And next we have Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
Hi everyone. Hi Suwan.
Is it your
I'm
first
Matthew
time
today.
here?
No, this is my second time.
Oh, okay. Welcome back.
Okay.
And we have Gino. Hi, Gino.
Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
My name is Gino. Invited by Aslan. First time here from KL.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
And we have Natasha. Hi, Natasha.
It's my first time here.
Welcome. How did you
I
find
don't know,
us?
I just stumbled across your page and I think it looks interesting. So I decided to join for today. And so far, it's quite good and nice. And I think I will join in the future again.
Sure, you're most welcome.
And thank you for
Thank
sharing
you.
your experience.
You're welcome. We hope you have a great time here. And next, we have Sugi Lim. Hi, Sugi Lim.
Hi guys. Actually, it's pronounced as Sagi. But anyway, I'm actually invited by Vance because she's one of the DJ friends that I had. Back the time when we were at school together, and I joined because I actually had joined like the previous Toastmaster in another club, which is the club in my college. But yeah, I just wanted to like explore and compare what is the differences between it, and I wanted to improve my English as well because sometimes I feel like I talk too fast, and I want to like see how they really do to like improve. So yeah, if I have the time, I would join more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sugi. And guys, you are more than welcome to turn on your video so that we can actually see your pretty face and you can actually experience the full experience of Toastmasters by staying present in this meeting. Thank you. And
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen,
Just sorry that I couldn't open my camera now because I just came back and quite a mess right now.
no worry.
But it's okay. The next time I'll definitely open and let you see my face.
Sure, no
Okay.
worry. Yep, thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, next, I would like to invite Kim Leong to give a toast for this evening. Kim Leong, over to you.
Thank you, Suan. Okay. Life gives us a lot of lessons as we move ahead. There are moments in life that make us happy, while there are moments that make us feel bad or dejected. But from each of these events, we should take lessons and make life more meaningful. In the journey of life, we should not forget our duties towards others. We should lead life by example so that who come across us some reason to get inspired by us. For this to happen, we need to realize that every little thing we do should include morality. If morality is compromised, we lose the respect of those around us. So before taking any decision, it is important that we spend some thought and not act impulsively, regretting our decision later. But we as humans are bound to make mistakes as well. It is important to own up the mistake, apologize, and strive to never repeat the same mistake again. This is how someone earns the respect of others. We learn from others around the most rather from books. It is thus important for every one of us to become wholesome enough to inspire people we meet on our way. To become such a person, we need to work on ourselves too. By striving to be such a person, we become more conscious of our actions and take more well thought of our calls. We leave our footprints in the world by inspiring someone else and passively being a part of their story. It is perhaps the best way to make one's life truly meaningful. Before I end, I would like you all to unmute yourself and toast for this meaningful phrase. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Back to you, Suan.
Thank you, Kim Leong. Indeed, we have to work on ourselves. And sometimes we are just forgetting that one of the most important that we have to focus is ourselves. Thank you, Kim Leong, for that inspiring message. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, tonight we have a special person. She's dedicated, she's committed, and she is lovely as well, I would say. She will be our host for the whole event today, our Toastmaster of the evening, Rachel Ling. I will pass over to Rachel to facilitate the whole meeting tonight. Over to you, Rachel.
Thank you, President Suwan, for your very generous words. And a very fantastic Thursday evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Welcome to Elite Toastmasters meeting number 164. My name is Rachel and I'm super excited to be your Toastmasters of the evening. Now, today's meeting theme is Aspire to Inspire Before You Expire. And I'm extremely happy to be given the opportunity to share my thoughts about today's theme. Now, let me ask you a question. What comes to mind when you think of someone inspirational? Now, I've actually asked a couple of you offline throughout the week. And what I realized was that usually we think of someone inspirational as a person who has overcome great obstacles to achieve something big, whether it be our grandparents, someone famous like Mahatma Gandhi, or famous magicians. However, I would like to challenge this notion and echo what Suwan mentioned earlier, that we can find inspiration everywhere, even within ourselves. I believe we are in a position to inspire others to make a difference despite our own shortcomings. Ladies and gents, this is actually my first time playing the TME role. And initially I was super hesitant to volunteer, thinking that, it will be something that I do in maybe December or January next year. But after seeing Toastmaster Justin playing his first time TME role last month, I was inspired by him. After the meeting, we spoke a bit and he mentioned that throughout the meeting, his armpits were sweating. That really inspired me because despite his nervousness, he still went for it and he still did it. So he was really a true example of what it means to aspire to inspire before we expire, or in Justin's case, perspire. You see, we don't need to do big grand things. We can inspire each other every day through our boldness, even through our vulnerability, and through our honesty and through our integrity. And this is what Elite Toastmasters is all about. We inspire each other so that we can make a difference to fulfill our innermost desires before it's too late. Now, for the benefit of our 5 new guests today, I will briefly explain the function and the program of tonight's meeting. So I've recently found myself watching a lot of F1, and after being inspired through the Born to Race series on Netflix, and I thought that it would be a perfect analogy of how today's meeting will be conducted. So allow me to bring you through this journey. Typically, before any race, drivers will undergo 3 qualifying rounds that will determine their positions on the grid on the actual day itself. In the same way, today's meeting will consist of 3 rounds. The first round is the table topic session. This is an impromptu session where members and guests will get a chance to impress the audience in just 2 minutes based on a topic selected on the spot. Second round is the prepared speeches. And in this segment, 4 of our lovely members will get to deliver their assignment speeches from their project pathways. In the third round will be the feedback. And as we all know, feedback is the best way to learn. Someone once said feedback is the breakfast for champions, and I couldn't agree more. So during this session, feedback will be given to the project speakers and to the role players, as well as the overall meeting. Next, I'm going to introduce the role players of our meeting. So this is like the pit crew and the race officials who ensure all the logistics and key data points are being collected throughout the meeting so that we have the best meeting experience. There are 4 members that I would like to introduce you to. To kickstart tonight's program, the first person that I would like to introduce you to is our dynamic SAA, Toastmaster Ashu, whom you have already met. The next person I would like to introduce you to is our timer, Toastmaster Iceland. Now, Toastmaster Iceland's greatest inspiration is David Blaine. As some of you might know, Iceland is also our in-house magician, and David Blaine has inspired him on his journey to become a magician. Without further ado, I would like to pass over to Toastmaster Iceland to explain more about his role as a timer. Toastmaster Iceland, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening, Rachel. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guests. So as a timer, I will be timing all the session throughout the meeting, including the table topic, formal speeches, and the evaluation, and also all the speakers who are going to speak today. So throughout the meeting, I will be showing our first warning as a green light, just like that. Second warning will be the amber. Third will be red light. And if you overtime, I will not hesitate and turn on my mic and sound, give you a sound like that to give you a warning. All right, thank you so much, and over to you, TME Rachel.
Thank you, Toastmaster Iceland. Indeed, just like in the F1 race, in a Toastmasters meeting, every microsecond also matters. Next, I would like to introduce to you our R counter for the day, and that is Toastmaster Ollie. Toastmaster Ollie is our newest member, and he is inspired by his grandparents who built a family based on the foundation of respect, kindness, and compassion. Toastmaster Ollie, I would like to pass the controls over to you to explain more about your role.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, Rachel. As our counter, I'll be listening very carefully for the use of vocal pauses and crutches words such as you know, and etc. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I, or this mean. This is known as double clutch. I will keep track of everyone's and report at the end of the meeting on who best controlled their use of filler words. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the evening, Rachel.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ollie. The third The third pit crew member that I would like to introduce is Toastmaster Hema. Now, Toastmaster Hema, she's also inspired by her grandfather, who has never stopped to be curious to learn something new and has emboldened her to do so too. Now, over to you, Toastmaster Hema, for you to explain more about your role.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hema here. I'm your grammarian for tonight. I'm responsible to introduce the word of the day, and the word of the day is embolden. What does it mean? It means to make someone feel braver, more confident by something or to do something. Example of usage would be Elite Toastmasters embolden us to learn and practice the art of public speaking by overcoming our fear in a safe place. Apart from telling or introducing the word of the day, I will also be the police for grammar, for vocabulary, and also including any outstanding use of the English language. Back to you, Toastmaster Rachel.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hema. And what a lovely and fitting word that is such in line with our theme for today. Now, before we move on to the first round of the race, I would like to highlight a small change in our agenda, and that is our Toastmaster table topic evaluator will be changed from Mak Kamshi to Diane, as Mak Kamshi is unable to make it for today. All right, without further ado, I'm super excited because it's time to gear up towards the first lap of our race, and that is our table topic session. To conduct this table topic session, I would like to invite our table topic master of the evening, and that is none other than our past president, Toastmaster Hasno. Over to you, Toastmaster Hasno.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for a lovely transition to me. My name is Hasno. I will be your table topic master for today. Everybody can deliver or any speech when something is within your common knowledge, where you expert in that particular area. What will happen if there's a things where it's not from your domain area or knowledge? This way you need to change from your comfort zone. So what will happen and how you react to it? So this a particular session where improvisation is all about, where it gives you an opportunity to practice and embolden your thinking skill. This is a stage where you can hone your impromptu skills and make you better think on your feet for things that you did not know in terms of knowledge and domain. And the rules for this particular session is very simple. There will be a green from a green color will be turned at 1 minute, amber at 1:30 minutes, and red at 2 minutes. After 2:30 minutes, 2.5 minutes, then Iceland will jump and sound like what, Iceland? Oh, thank you, Iceland, for give a good example. Okay, for this particular session is open to members and guests who are interested to join. Feel free to put your names in the chat below. Okay. Fellow Toastmaster and guests, for today, Toastmaster table topic master is very simple. Put yourself as a reporter. I will flash a picture where it will describe 1,000 of words. So put yourself as a reporter and describe back to the audience. Yeah. Okay, now may I have first volunteer to join my table topic before I start calling people in. That's the beauty about table topic master. Can I have a volunteer?
Hi, I volunteer. Duncan
Hi,
here.
Duncan. Hi, Duncan.
Yes.
Oh,
Hello.
hello. Good to hear about it. Okay, Duncan, you as a reporter.
Yes. Come.
Imagine yourself as a reporter. Are you ready with your first report?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Duncan, you as a reporter, please describe the picture to the audience. Duncan, control to you.
All right, everybody. This is TV3 Duncan from TV3, and this is now we are reporting sports live from Stadium Merdeka. Now, my friends, as you can see right here, we have Team Green versus Team Yellow, and as you can see right here, Team Yellow is going to score the ball, and they might be the champions for this round. As you can see, for the Little League right here, they are the crowd favorite. Everybody thinks that they will be the team champion. But what do you think? Let me know what do you think. Because we will also be looking at Team Green. As you can see, Team Green, we have the defender that's coming along, and he is catching right up to our crowd favorite, the little David Beckham. So as you can see, David Beckham is right here. He's very, very ready to score the goal right here. So I'm very excited. I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm pretty sure that our audience is waiting very excitedly with bated breath, looking to see who is going to score, whether little David is going to score, or I don't know what other football player names are, or let's call him Natasha, or Natasha is going to defend the ball. So I'm not sure. So my friends, if you want to see who is going to score, stay tuned, and we will roll right after the break. Thank you very much. Isn't this okay? Back to you, Arsenal.
Thank you, Duncan. Thank you for a lovely sport reporter. So I never thought there will be a Liverpool and MU playing together. And oh, this was good. Good try. Okay, thank you, Duncan, for a superb reporter. And might I have a second volunteer who willing to volunteer for the second table topic? Yes, Matthew.
Yes, maybe I can have a try.
Yes.
I hope it's an easier one.
Yes, it will easier. Don't worry. I will be nice to you. Okay, imagine yourself as a reporter. So, okay. Matthew, you as a reporter, please share the picture to the audience. Matthew, control to you.
Okay, welcome everyone to this GP Motor Championship in Malaysia. So now we are at the Putrajaya and we are looking at the race of the GP Motor. So what we can say is the number 33 motorcycle is already, the rider is fall down. And what we need to take note is that the rider for the number 84, be careful a bit because it might going to happen the accident if he cannot avoid the falling motor from the number 33. And if he cannot go into that, then he will lose the advantage to overtake the champions for tonight for this GP Motor Championship of 2021. So again, so let's see what happened going to be in just a few again, and we will see, and we will know who will be the winner for this GP Moto Championships 2021. Yeah, I think that's all I can.
Thank you, Matthew, for able to share what's your thought on the picture. Yes, one picture can describe
that's my best
1,000.
already.
Yeah, one picture can describe 1,000 of words. Thank you, Matthew, for your trial. Yeah. So next, can I have our second volunteer for table topic? The third volunteer. Okay. So it seems that I don't have. So can I have our member Jiman? Jiman? Jiman, you want to try?
I think Jiman has some line problem.
All right,
Yeah.
then no problem. So let's go to the next.
Hasno, I would like to volunteer myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the 2 minutes that I have to off my audio.
I like the spirit, Yi. Okay,
Okay,
come.
cool. Please
You're
be nice to me. I'm not familiar with any sports or GP.
Okay, don't worry. I will be nice to you like Matthew also. Okay, come. You as
Good job,
a
Matthew.
okay. So you as a reporter. So please, you as a reporter, please share the picture to the audience. Yi, controls to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Her TV right now. Your reporter EE. Today, we're going to have a breaking news for you. As you can see on the photo right now, we have the Formula One crashing on each other. And you realize that Formula One is one of the most, I don't even know it's Formula One, I just jump out. You know, it's one of the most challenging as well as dangerous sport in the world. And guess what? All of this rider, they has been trained, that's going through all this challenging training to make sure they can handle the vehicle. But again, we say accident, you can never expect, you can never avoid an accident. So same goes to our life. There are ups and downs. So I hope this message today, this news today, remind you to cherish the moment with your loved one. And this is the news brought to you by Her TV, by your news reporter today, EE. And back to you, Hasno.
Thank you, Yi. Oh, very natural reporter are you. Thank you, Yi, for delivering and share your thought on the picture. I never thought you are a natural reporter, Yi. So now we have football, we have MotoGP, and we have F1. So what's next? So can I have next volunteer to try and be a spontaneous or impromptu reporter? So any guess, Gino, you want to try? Or Natasha? Or guess? Teh, you want to try out? Okay, come. So it seems that we do have a shy member to step up. So I need to pick up one more. Don't worry, Nicholas.
No.
Don't worry,
I
you know.
like to.
Yes, was it?
Hasno, I like to try.
Nicholas. Yeah.
Okay, Nicholas. Thank you. Thank you for your embolden. Okay, come. You as a reporter, I will pick up very easy picture for you to describe, Nicholas. Okay. So Nicholas, imagine yourself as a reporter. Please share what your thought and share with the audience. Nicholas, control to you.
Okay. Okay, coming to you live from TV3, Nicholas Yap here reporting as we just got news of one of the most anticipated horse races in the world here in Malaysia happening right now. As we can see, the race was a really tight race. Now we see the Samuel in blue and Marcus in red, and also Houghton in white. They have trained diligently for over the 10 years. They are one of the most experienced and one of the top equestrians in the world. And today they have all gathered here for this race. We have not known the results as there were technical difficulties with the live broadcast, and this is the last picture that we have gotten from them. And news of the winning has not been announced, but we will be updating you live later once we get the update. And yeah, thank you so much. thank you so much, and hope to report to you the update soon.
Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your report to us, and live from the World Equestrian in KL. Thank you, Nicholas. And can I check with Asron, do we have more time?
No.
Okay. So thank you for all the participants who bold enough to participate in the table topic. And now I will pass the control to our lovely Toastmaster of the evening, Rachel. Rachel, control pass to you back. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hasnul. And what an interesting table topic session. I never knew, a picture could really paint 1,000 words, or perhaps we just have some very, very talented Toastmasters amongst us. All right, now it's the time for the table topic evaluation session. For this, I would like to invite Toastmaster Diane for the evaluation. Toastmaster Diane, over to you.
Sorry, Rachel, we need to go to the
sorry,
session
before
first.
that, yes. Can I get our SAA Ashru to bring up the table topic voting poll? Thank you. So we will now vote for the best table topic speaker. All right, everyone looks done. Okay.
Seven more.
Toastmaster Diane? Not yet. Seven more
votes are needed.
Yeah, we can have a count of 5 to end the poll.
Okay.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's end the poll. Thank you. Back to you,
All
Rachel.
right.
All right,
okay,
then.
We'll proceed with the evaluation session now. Over to you, Toastmaster Diane.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and welcome, fellow Toastmasters. And what you have just witnessed is the table topic session delivered by 4 speakers who have emboldened us and shared with us what it is that comes to their mind when looking at such pictures and having to report them. Thank you so much, Hasnul, for giving this project to us, because describing a picture there and then truly puts us on our feet to begin even a structure. With a question, we generally can form answers and ideas, but today for them, it was just as simple as describe the picture in front of you. And that's what the 4 speakers did today. The first speaker is Duncan. Thank you, Duncan. He had that up for the challenge. As always, Duncan, his energy is there. And when he came up, he said, okay, and clearly he came over as a broadcaster more than a reporter. And what he did was he showed us and he told us what he noticed from the picture. What I particularly like about Duncan is the way that he provides details on on the image and how it actually affects him. And that's one of the ideas behind describing a certain situation or describing a picture. Pick first what resonates with you. And that's exactly what Duncan did. Well done, Duncan, on that. My challenge to Duncan is possibly just to watch the picture and the angle of his camera, because while he was describing the picture, I noticed that once he started getting into the describing mode, then he kind of forgot to share it with the audience, especially if you're going into a reporter mode. We're always looking at the camera, as little time as possible, looking at pictures and then focusing back on what we think from there. However, as always, Duncan, thank you for sharing. You've got wonderful energy and, as always, a lovely voice. Second speaker we have today is Matthew. Thank you, Matthew, for stepping in. And Matthew created the scene. He gave us a timeline, in fact, when he wanted to describe his picture. That is a great way to start his structure. So well done on that, Matthew. Give us an idea of where we are. What are we going to do next? And then that's how he started to describe. My suggestion to Matthew is to just, as we are speaking, after you finish a story, there's no need to say, oh, that's all I have. Perhaps instead, pass back the control. As speakers, if we don't have anything to say, that's all right. End it short and sweet and just say thank you, or back to you, Mr. Toastmaster, or the person who is hosting the event. So thank you for that, Matthew, and stepping up. It truly was an honor to watch you speak. For Yi, Yi came out and built the F1 scene. She was very honest as a broadcaster. She just said that I've got no idea what this is all about. I'm just going to throw it at you. In fact, not throw, she said champa. So yeah, so just watch out for the linguistics here. We can get a little bit colloquial at times, but do watch it, Yi, depending on which audience. However, one of the things that I must say about Yi is that she somehow was still able to describe that picture and sort of resonate it with a personal message. And that personal message was, do cherish your loved ones in such a manner. My challenge to Yi from here, if it were to be in a sports event, perhaps to look at certain aspects more to describe, perhaps to think of the 4 W's and the 1 H. What, where, when, and why, and then using a how, especially when we're describing a picture, that would be the best structure to go with to strategize when delivering her table topic. However, thank you, Yi. As always, you make even an accident sound wonderfully exciting in its own manner. So thank you for that, Yi. And next we had Nicholas. Thank you, Nicholas, for letting us know that coming to you live, and he was getting ready. I'm not surprised you gave him a mic and he would actually hold it and say, coming to you live right now. The reporter Nicholas here to share his story. And that's exactly what Nicholas did. He provided details. And in fact, he created a story from his picture, from the horses, and he even named the jockeys himself, just to give us an idea, to humanize the idea behind the picture. And that's a wonderful structure to go with, because that gives us an idea, builds a little story in our head, keeps us captivated, and tells us how close that everyone is into winning such a situation, such a suitable description for such a wonderful picture, showing us how sports in its own way is exciting. And that's what Nicholas shared with us. My challenge to Nicholas is to just, if you're going to start off with strong energy, keep that energy. Because I noticed that Nicholas, I think he started to think about, oh, what am I going to say next? What am I going to say next? And I noticed then his energy level started to drop down a little. My challenge to Nicholas, keep that energy level up, because he's got a lovely description going, a lovely story, and certainly a wonderful speaker as well. And that concludes my evaluation. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Diane. You know, with every evaluation, every speech you give, I always find that I learn something new every single time. Now, we are almost at the break, But before that, we would like to have a photo session. And for this, I would like to invite our SAA to grab a photo. For those who are
I
not...
will be doing the photo.
All right.
I will be doing photo, yes.
Okay. All right, so for those who, you know, need to neaten up their hair a bit. Okay, ready when you are. I think everyone looks okay.
Getting ready. Say cheese. 1, 2, 3. Wait, the first page. Now we go to the second page. Say cheese. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's good. Back to you, Rachel.
All right. Okay, now we will have a short break. Toastmaster Icestone, how long do we have for our bio break?
All right, so I think I will give about 2 minutes. Please come back in 2 minutes time.
Okay, we're not very generous, but we will take it. Okay.
So yum. There's like a PSA. So as we were saying,
welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the second half of the meeting. So I'll pass back the control to TME of the evening, Rachel. Over to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashu. Now we are at the second segment of our race. And this is the prepared speeches. So we have a very interesting lineup of speeches for today. Sorry, someone needs to move themselves. Thank you, Duncan. Okay, so we have a very interesting lineup of speeches today. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Leonard, who will be completing his Pathways Project 2 Level 3 from the Innovative Planning Path. Now, most of you may know or may not know that Leonard is actually a corporate lawyer, and the person that he finds most inspiring is his grandfather, another one. And the reason why he finds his grandfather inspiring is because he was a positive man who stood the time of adversity. So I would now like to pass the mic over to his evaluator, EJ, to share with us the purpose statement of the speech. Do we have EJ in here?
Hello.
Hi, EJ.
Hi. Give me a moment. Hi. Yes, thanks. Thank you, Rachel. Yes, Leonard, the purpose of your speech for today is to practice delivering social speeches in front of club members. All right, and that's it. And I'll pass the control back to you, Rachel.
Thank you for that, EJ. Okay, Toastmaster Leonard, the time allocated for your speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And everyone, please welcome Toastmaster Leonard with his speech titled A Tribute to Someone Special. Leonard. A tribute to someone special. Leonard, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rachel, for the lovely introduction. Contrary to her introduction, the tribute today is not to my grandfather, it's to another person who is someone special. So I intend to use this speech to express my gratitude and appreciation to someone special who is no other than my mentor, KJ Lee. I have had a few mentors now over the course of my life, but very few mentors demonstrated the same degree of dedication and patience as KJ. As a person, KJ is a proactive mentor, and he played an invaluable role in shaping up the commitment levels of his group of mentees, including myself, in addition to keeping his own commitment levels high. If he believes that there's potential in someone else, then he will go to great lengths and often great maximum length to ensure that the commitment levels of that person remains unwavering so that they are able to unleash their greatest potential and achieve what they aspire to achieve in life. For example, I still record early this year in January 2021, KJ initiated and asked each of us to join in an informal and conversational meeting to share our reflections on the year 2020. In other words, he asked us to share with him what we had achieved and what we had not achieved in 2020. We had a very happy conversation, and after the conversation, he led us in a very subtle way into what we wish to achieve in the year 2021. But what I like about KJ is this: he did not ask us an outright question, what we wish to achieve in the year 2021. He did not do that. In contrast, he asked us a series of questions and engaged us with a series of conversation, which at the end allowed us to exercise our independent thought and judgment on what we want to achieve in the year 2021. At the end of the conversation, I am very clear of my goals of what I want to achieve in the year 2021. For many who thought KJ's dedication ended at the first meeting early in the year, they are very wrong. We had a series of follow-ups through WhatsApp conversation in the group, sometimes through phone call. And in fact, the latest meeting took place 2 weeks ago, where KJ personally followed up with all his mentees in the group on our progress of achieving our goals, which we set for ourselves in early 2021, as it was then already end of August 2021. Instead of, for those members who achieve their goals, KJ is very generous in sharing his encouragement and compliments. For those members who still have some distance to achieve their goals, KJ is also very encouraging. He did not show any signs of dissatisfaction or frustrations. In contrast, he encouraged the members to work harder and reminded them that they still have 3 months until the end of 2021. So he asked us to add oil and work harder. In addition to his dedication, KJ is also a very patient person. In a mentoring relationship, the importance of patience as a virtue cannot be emphasized enough. Just like any other relationship, there will be moments of frustrations, annoyance, miscommunication, and lack of understanding. But great mentors are those who will tide over these momentary moments of frustrations, and most of the time they tide it over by exercising patience. Throughout my almost 3 years mentoring relationship with KJ, if I have any concerns or queries about anything, he will often sit down and spend his valuable time, sometimes during the weekend pre-MCO, to clear up his doubts. Nowadays, during MCO, whenever I have any queries, I can always drop KJ a text, and he will always say to me, you can call me anytime, and he will listen patiently to my concerns. There's a saying, lastly, there's a saying that goes, mentoring is a brain to pick and ear to listen and a push in the right direction. I'm happy to say that KJ as a mentor has all these 3 attributes, and this is what makes him a competent mentor. I believe everyone in the group, including myself, wish to say a big thank you to KJ for his patience and dedication. I know he's not in the meeting here today, but I still wish to say this. Thank you, KJ, for your patience and dedication, and I hope he will hear this later on after the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Leonard. And I think I might have just seen KJ join in, so you might be in luck.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Leonard. It's a great speech.
Very heartwarming indeed. And, you know, I really love how you spoke about mentorship. In fact, how we inspire each other doesn't just end in our Toastmasters meeting. Outside our Toastmasters meeting, each of our member is being assigned to a mentor. For example, for myself, it's our lovely Diane, and that is how we continuously grow and encourage each other. All right, Now it's time for our second speech of the day. And our second speaker for the day is none other than Toastmaster ASEAN, who will be completing her Pathways Project 2 Level 1 from the Presentation Mastery part. Now, ASEAN's biggest inspiration is her grandparents, who had little formal education, but was able to provide her and her siblings with good education, so much so that they were all able to secure scholarships to study overseas. How wonderful is that? I would now like to pass on to her evaluator, Vance Noel, to share with us the purpose of her speech. Over to you, Vance.
Thank you, Rachel. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. Thank you. Back to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vance. Now, Toastmaster ASEAN, you will also have 5 to 7 minutes to complete your speech. Toastmaster ASEAN, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally, Toastmaster ASEAN.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rachel. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Let me ask you a question. How many of you heard of this sentence? Don't take it personally. From your friends before they are giving you any advices, or maybe from your boss during appraisal time, or maybe from your partners when you are having arguments with them. Most of the time, when people ask us not to take things personally, we will respond otherwise. For example, when our best friend criticized about our fashion, or maybe our new hairstyle, even when your kids criticize you for being too strict on their study, or maybe for being too old-fashioned, part of your heart try not to take their words personally, but part of you believe that their words are true. So today, I will go through with you the reason why some people have the tendency to take things personally and what they can do to stop this habit. So first of all, why do you think some people tend to take things personally? Are they too sensitive? Or are they having low self-esteem? Actually, there are many psychological reasons to explain on this behavior, but let me highlight two most common reasons. The first one is social perfectionist people. Social perfectionist people tend to have a thought that they don't want people to see their flaws or their mistakes. If I am a social perfectionist people, I've been thinking now, are you guys listening to my speech, or you are busy doing something else? Or am my topic too boring to you? So for these social perfectionist people, small little things does matter to them. So when they believe that they have to be perfect in front of other people's eyes, it drives them to constantly worry about what other people think about them. The second reason, this group of people mostly doesn't have the skills to be assertive. We had been taught since young age that we have to be kind, we have to be nice, we have to be agreeable of other people's opinion. So when we constantly putting other people's needs before our own, actually we are teaching our brains that other people's opinions is primary and ours is secondary. So if it is no surprise that when people criticize us, our assumption that these people are right and what we feel is no longer important. So how can we stop this habit? First, tell yourself that it is okay to make mistakes. Stop worrying about what other people think about you. You have to worry about what you think about yourself. Strangers, colleagues, even your relatives, they always volunteer to give their opinion about your life, about your decisions, or even about your problems. But don't make their opinions so important that it stops you to make things happen just because of their opinion is not aligned with your actions. This is your life. Take charge of your life. Learn to let go of other people's opinion. The second one, don't jump to conclusions and ask for clarification. Instead of making assumption on what someone means, ask for clarification on the comments that you think that make you feel offensive. I'm sure that when you are doing presentation to your bosses or maybe to management, they always sometimes give you nasty comments, or maybe they will criticize about lack of contents. Don't take their comments personally. Instead, ask for clarification on what is your boss's expectation and what are the areas to be improved. Last but not least, start to learn to be assertive. Being assertive means that you are able to know what you want and say no to what you don't want. Once you start learning to be more assertive, you will begin to value yourself and find it very easy to resist to taking things personally. Fellow Toastmaster and guests, there are so many reasons that people can create as an excuse for them to be vulnerable or to take things personally. If you are in this group of people, you can stop this habit. Understand the real reasons why you're doing it. Only then you can undo these habits. Remember this, there is a huge amount of freedom that will come to you when you take nothing personally. With that, I would like to conclude my speech and back to you, Toastmaster Rachel.
Thank you, Norazian. And I'm sure this is something that everyone can relate to. My biggest takeaway from the speech was that instead of letting other people's opinion to guide our actions should be guided by our values and priorities. And that was my biggest takeaway. So on to the next speaker. Our next speaker is no stranger to us. She is our lovely Juliana, who will be completing her Pathways Project 2, Level 2 from the Effective Coaching Path. Juliana, as we all might not know, is actually an organizational psychologist. And she is inspired by her 2, 4, and 7-year-old kids who constantly remind her to take a pause, stop, and enjoy life. I would now like to call upon her evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Mingyan, to read out the purpose statement of her speech.
The purpose of her project is for her to learn about different communication styles and identify her primary style. And it is also for her to share the impact of her style on others. Back to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Mingyan. Toastmaster Juliana, you will also have 5 to 7 minutes to complete your speech. Toastmaster Juliana, clap. Clap, Juliana. Over to you.
Thank you, TME Rachel, for the lovely introduction. It has been a lovely session so far, and I'm enjoying this F1 ride to now. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today I will be sharing with you a clap technique. Yes, you heard me right. A clap technique, which summarizes my own journey of discovering my communication style. This clap method I found is helpful to help me communicate better, regardless of our individual styles. So let me start. What does CLAP stand for? The C in CLAP stands for compose. What does that mean? So when I started my journey at Toastmasters Elite in January 2021, I was very geared up. Every time I was ready for a speech, I would sit down, I'll compose stories after stories, and then I'll flip the papers, and then I'll do another line of story until I got it right. I didn't really think so much about my presence in the screen. I was more focused on my script and reading it. And yes, that's what I did. I used to read through my scripts. And most of you who knows me in my journey would know that I read a lot, right? So that's what I was doing. And I realized that, no, this was not working. My scripts reading was not natural form of communication. I was not able to get my message right. At the end, my evaluators would tell me, I didn't understand you. I lost you halfway. Your train of thoughts was just all over the place, or something along those lines. You get the drill. But I was not getting it. And then I realized, no, I need to firstly practice this. I need to compose myself. So instead of composing scripts, I decided to stop writing and start composing myself in front of the screen during the speech to be able to engage with the audience better. So that's number one, C, compose yourself before your speech. Number two is to listen. L is for listen. I'll tell you a story as to how I learned this the hard way. Nobody should learn it this way. 7 years ago, when I had my firstborn, it was tough because the boy was crying day, night, evening, afternoon, every time, anytime. He was just crying all the way. I didn't understand baby language. I didn't know what to do and how to attend to the child. Although as a mother, people say that, there's this instincts, blah, blah, blah. It didn't quite work for me. All I got was just scream, 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 scream. And then I realized one day it hit me that he was actually trying to communicate to me. The crying that a child does is actually a form of communication with us. We just needed to understand what each cry meant. So the cry for poo-poo was different tone than the cry for food. So the cry for a bloated stomach, for example, was different than a cry for just comfort hug. And once I could decode these clues, I could just listen. I just needed to listen to him, to these cries, and decode it. Once I was able to decode them, then life was so much easier. I got my peace back, I got my sleep back, and the boy was happy, everyone was at peace. All I needed to do at that point was to listen. Listen, not just to conversations, English as or Malay or whatever language as we know it, but just listen to the person we are talking to. And this applies as well in our own lives, in our workplace, with our personal relationships. We have to stop, listen, and hold out for the person to speak or to communicate in whichever way they could communicate with us. That's L. The third point is A. A is to adapt. So again to my story on the boy that was crying, right? So once I got these crying cues fixed, I could then adapt my approach to the conversation. I could adapt my response to it. I didn't have to constantly be feeding the child, because older people would say when a child cries, oh, he's hungry, he's hungry. He can't be hungry 24/7, right? But that's what people would tell you as a new mother. So it's really stressful to be in such situation. But once you could decode it, listening, once you've listened to it, you can now adapt your style to fit what the child needs. And that's what I started doing. I adapted my approach to whatever he needed. The same I applied in my work relationships as well. When I have coaching sessions with my teams, I don't just have a tailor-made conversation to everyone. I adapt my responses depending on what the circumstances or what the conversation is about. We don't have a scripted response each time we communicate, right? So the adapt technique really helped to overcome this. Adapting the answers helped me to really be present and participate, which brings me to the last P, which is to participate. Participate is not just about showing up. It's not about just attending something and being there. And like Azia was saying, you are probably thinking or doing something else at this point and not really listening to me. And I can't really tell because we're all on Zoom calls. That's what Zoom does to us, right? We all are there dialed in, but are we really participating? Are we really there present in that conversation? When we really participate, truly participate in a conversation with someone, with a group of people, we will start to listen or hear cues and signs that we've probably not listened before. imagine if you are actually talking to someone and the person is literally checking the messages while responding to you like this. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Do you really feel like you had an engagement with me? Imagine you did that to your prospective lover. Sorry, I don't know to burst your bubbles, but that's just the worst thing to do to attract someone to be interested in you, right? So participation in a conversation, in a communication is extremely important to be able to get to the person. Imagine also in a work setting. So if you participate in a group conversation, you don't have to have something to say for everything, but if you truly listen to someone else giving a feedback, or if you do have a feedback, you don't hold yourself back from saying it, right? So being in a participative mindset means you basically want to be out there, put yourself out there to just say, okay, I can do this. I want to give you a feedback based on this. And so, my friends, this technique of clap, yes, you heard it right, clap, compose, listen, adapt, and participate can actually help us to better our communication, irregardless of whichever our individual styles are. And clap, if you realize, is actually a universal gesture to celebrate something. And it says a lot without saying so much, if you get what I mean. A clap is usually after a celebration, and you're actually celebrating something joyous, a good occasion, right? So it's universal in any languages. When you talk to a child, a clap makes a child very happy. So that's a good way for you to remember how to communicate better. So next time you want to know how I'm stuck in a situation, I don't know what to do, think of clap. Compose yourself, listen, adapt, participate. And that's my timer. So in worst case, this is my last line. In worst case, if everything else fails, know that you can always join Elite Toastmasters to improve your own communication style. Thank you very much.
Clap. What a genius framework, Juliana. Now I don't need to remember all the complicated framework. I just need to remember to clap. Okay. Now we have almost reached the end of the second round. We have one remaining speaker for the day. And the next speaker is Toastmaster Minwoo. And he will be completing his Project Pathways 2, Level 3 from the Presentation Mastery Path. Now, Minwoo, he is a subsea hardware engineer. And I actually didn't know what that was, so I went and researched it. And apparently, subsea hardware engineer is responsible for the control and the direct flow of oil and gas from deep marine wells. So, yeah, sounds like a difficult job. Okay, now, jokes aside, Minwoo is also inspired by a fictional character, first of its kind, Iron Man, and the reason is because Iron Man is a proof that you don't need to be born with a superpower to become a superhero. Now, with that being said, I would like to invite his evaluator, Duncan, to share his purpose statement.
I'm muted. Hi, okay. So Minwoo, the purpose of your project is to focus on using stories in a speech or create a speech that is the purpose of this project is for you to practice using a story within a speech or to give a speech that is a story. Good luck and all the best, Minwoo.
All right, Toastmaster Minwoo.
Okay.
I do my best. Toastmaster Minwoo. Over to you.
Thank you. So for people who don't know me or never meet me before, my name is Me. Just want to let you know I exist in this group. Legend has it, in every WhatsApp group, there is at least one person who reads everything, but never replies to anything. Yup, it is me. I am real. So last week, when it was close to Malaysia Independence Day, a friend of mine asked me, You have been here for so long. So what do you love about Malaysia? It was a really good question. I thought about it. I prepared a speech about it, but my friend never came back for the answer. So it left me with a speech with our audience. That's why I am here today to share with you this speech. If you don't know, this year marked the 13 years I am in Malaysia. So if you ask me, I have to tell you I'm very biased toward Malaysia. To me, answering these questions is harder than getting Pfizer vaccine. So I asked my wife, what do you love about Malaysia? Tell me. So I hope that I can get, like some ideas. First, she said, Malaysian is nice and friendly. You know that I don't have any choice, right? You know, right? Because I'm here for too long. So I don't have any Vietnamese friend anymore. So even Chen Chun might not be the friendliest dude on earth. I have no choice but to be friend with him. I thought he's not here today, but he's here today, so it's all right. Second, she said shopping. Then she said durians. Her list go on and on and on and on. So I thought of, inviting her here to come here to share with all of you instead of me. But being an engineer, I'm not giving up this easy. After cracking my head for at least 3 nights, I finally found 3 things that I will miss the most if there's a day I leave Malaysia for good. So first things, I love the weather here. It's the same every day, every week, every month, every year. It seldom changes, like my salary. When people know that we have 4 seasons in Vietnam, normally people will say, hey, got winter, nice. How many of you here like winter? Raise your hands or type 1 in the chat. I say, you watch too much Korean drama. Winter, couple, love, snow. Hey, wake up. In Vietnam, winter has no snow, but it is still cold. What is so nice about being in the warm blanket and you have to wake up in the morning? The worst one is to take shower if you do. I don't, but if you do. Shower is not my thing. Sorry. Second thing, you don't have to know your neighbor's name or his wife's name, his son's, his daughter's name, his cat's, his dog name. In Vietnam, your neighbor knows everything about you and they expect you to do the same. I still remember when I brought my girlfriend, now wife, to the house for the first time. The next day, I was passing by a neighbor and then he did this to me. And then anything about you can become a table topic. They discuss about what your mark in school. When I was a kid, I often get punished because my classmate told his mom about what I did at school. And then his mom talked to another mom and another mom told another mom. And I don't know why. The last mom who always knew about it is my mom. Here, you don't have to know. You don't have to really know about your neighbor. It's nice to know, but it's not a must. So last few weeks, I was in the lift. I pressed my floor 15. Then there was another guy rushing into the lift. He looked at me, I look at him, but not in a Korean way. I know what you are thinking because you watch too much Korean drama. And he didn't press his floor. So I remind him, hey bro, you forget. Then he said, I'm going to the 15th floor too. Then I said, oh really? Hi neighbor, probably you just moved here because I think I never seen you before. And then he looked at me, I look at him, still not in a Korean way, but this time it is in American action movies way. And then he said to me, I moved here 3 years ago. And the last things I love being in Malaysia is that I don't have to stay with my parents. Sorry, mom, sorry, dad, still love you. But you know, even if you even if you are 50 years old, to your mom, in your mom's eyes, you are still a kid. Raise your hand if you agree with me. My mom calls me every day just to remind me to shower. Even though I have 2 kids by myself, every day without fail, she posts 3 times in our WhatsApp group. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, together with cats photo, method to cure COVID-19, how to lose weight, how to have a daughter, because you know I have 2 boys. But the best thing of staying away from family is that I cherish more the moment I can spend with them. When I'm with them, I'm fully present, and then I appreciate every single second we spend together. No phone, no YouTube, no social media, no distractions. I enjoy the time I go shopping with my mom. It's not because that I like shopping. Actually, I'm scared of going shopping with her because so many times she shouts very loud and clear from the other side of the department store. Hey boy, do you have enough underwear? Or just a walk with my dad around the housing area, pass by the house of the dude who give me the thumbs up. But this time it's my turn because he brought his girlfriend home the night before. Very boring, but to be honest, I cherish every moment I can spend with my dad because I know the next time I see them could be another year or another 2 years like now because of COVID-19. And sorry, that's all I could think of to share with you. Like I said, I'm very biased toward Malaysia. These questions is very, very hard for me. And you know, I do my best. Thank you. Bye to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Minwoo. That was a very, very interesting and entertaining speech indeed. And when I first saw your speech title, I was expecting some kind of inspirational speech. And indeed, you have exceeded all my expectations. Okay, we are now at the end of the speech segment. And to wrap things up, I would like to pull up the poll to vote for the best assignment speaker. Could I get our SAA Ashu to pull up the vote? Thank you.
Sure.
All right, Toastmaster SAA, is everyone done with the voting?
Yeah, done.
Okay, perfect. Now we have finally arrived at the third and last round of our race. And that is the evaluation segment. And for this segment, I would like to invite our lovely general evaluator, Charlene, to give her evaluations of the speeches and the role players. Over to you, Toastmaster Charlene.
Charlene, we can't hear you.
Hear me right now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
now.
Yes, right.
Now.
Okay, yes, everyone. I'm Charlene, the GE for tonight, and my role is to review and evaluate the meeting as a whole. And of course, just like F1 formula, I have a team work together with me to ensure the smooth running of tonight's meeting so that it can end and complete it with a boom. And now to start off, just now we have heard our speakers' speeches, and now we would like to hear hear from our evaluators. First of all, I would like to invite our first evaluator, EJ, to evaluate our speaker, Leonard. Welcome, EJ, please.
Hi, thank you, Charlene. Toastmaster Leonard, tonight you gave a speech to honor your mentor, KJ Lee. And after hearing your speech, I can say that if I were KJ, I am emboldened to continue to do what I'm doing to guide the new members in Toastmasters and in life. Leonard, your speech was precise. Your speech was concise. Your speech, after listening to your speech, I felt so clear about what you were trying to tell. What I really enjoyed about it is how clear the points were being delivered and how smooth the transition through your speech you have done throughout your speech. This gives me, as an audience, it allows me to feel that the speaker really knows what he's talking about. And most importantly, I feel clear and I don't feel confused. That really adds the positivity in the audience when we're listening to your speech. And another thing that I really like what you have done is your energy throughout this whole speech. Even though I'm seeing you through a computer screen and I'm hearing you through my computer, I can clearly tell that you were so excited, that the excitement was genuine. You were excited to share with us what KJ has done and how you appreciate him as your mentor and all the good work that he has done for you. And this positivity, believe it or not, it transmits over to the audience, even though we're just seeing each other through a screen. And me as an audience, upon receiving that positivity, it just adds on. It just makes me feel so much better in listening to your speech, in wanting to accept the things that you are telling us. Now, if I were really to find something to pick on, it would be on the field of your personal experience. One of the reasons that I believe personal experience or personal stories are so powerful are not just to connect with the audience, but also because the experience is from yourself, you get to decide what and how deep you want to go into it. And I would like to challenge you to tell us more about those experiences, especially how it made you feel. The whole speech, it felt like the checklist of a great mentor was being ticked. And the challenge is to let us know how or what KJ did and how it made you feel, how it empowered you. So put the focus more on how your emotions, how you were feeling after what KJ has done to you as his mentor. And with that, I would like to wrap up my evaluation. I love your positivity. I love how clear and how well your speech is being prepared. And I would like to challenge you to tell us more in-depth about your experience and your feelings with your mentor. With that, I pass the control back to Charlene. Thank you very much. I hope you have a nice day.
Thank you very much, EJ, for such a wonderful evaluations. I feel that your evaluations is very personal. You let the speaker feel welcome by explaining and sharing how his speech touched your heart, okay? And your evaluations, we can see that his evaluation is very structured. He got 2 strengths, 2 weaknesses, and he explains to the speaker how he can improve from there. Okay, that's how a proper evaluation should be done. But perhaps one thing I think you can improve on is your audio, because I found that your audio is a bit soft. So maybe next time you try to, make your audio a bit loud so that I'm able to catch what you say. Okay. And now I would like to welcome our second evaluator, Vance, who are evaluating ASEAN. So let us welcome Vance. Thank you so much, Charlene. Today I'll be evaluate ASEAN. I hope everyone will be unmute yourself and give ASEAN a round of applause for the very first speech. Great job, Ajan. How do you feel? Do you feel good right now? Okay, so in my evaluation, I will be sharing the strength of you and few points for you to improve so you can talk more better in the next speech. So from your first speech, I can see a lot of strength on you. I can see a very unique personality. You are very sincere and you are very real. The story that you share. So in the introduction, when you start the speech, you actually ask the question from the audience. And when you ask question, it help you to connect to the audience, and audience will put more attention on your speech. And the next one, you'll be show us a lot of example, like you will say your boss, your friend. So all these example is very related to us. But some of us have boss, we have friends, so we feel very relate and we feel engaged with your speech. And another thing I really love your speech is your structure. Your structure is very good because before you dive deep in your topic, you actually tell us what can we expect in your speech. So you tell us what and why, so we know what we'll know and what we can expect in your speech. So another one part for you to improve your speech is your body language. I can see you try to show your body language, but however, maybe you can move your camera down a little bit like that. Maybe you might using a laptop. I see from your spec. So you can move it a little bit down. So when you move your hand around, people will see, and you actually really confident already. But when you show more body language, people will feel more comfortable and confident on your speech. So, and other than that, I can see that you are trying your best not to look at your notes, but maybe 20%. But however, you done very good job on your first speech. Because when I talk my first speech, I actually read the whole thing like essay, you know. But last but not least, I found a very interesting word from your speech is freedom come to you when you don't take it personally. And when you end this word on the ending, it let me remember back your title. So I really love this part and keep going on. Good job, Azan. Back to you, Celine.
Thank you very much, Vance. So Vance, what I feel about your evaluation is that as always, you have a very calming and soothing voice, okay? And you say that the speaker is very sincere, and I also can say that you are a sincere evaluator, because from the first evaluation until now, what I can say that this time you are able to dissect the speaker's speech deeper and look deeper into this speech on how this speech can be better and how this speech make you feel. And what I can see that you also demonstrate to the speakers on how to position the camera, and you really demonstrate, okay, instead of just saying, okay, I really like that. And you also add it a very encouraging note. And of course, at the start, you invite everyone to applaud for her courage to deliver this speech. Good job on that, because you make the speaker feel welcome and happy and feel that her effort are being appreciated. All right, and now thank you very much, Van. And now I would like to invite our third evaluator, Mingyan, who are evaluating Juliana.
Thank you, Charlene. Juliana, as always, you are such a knowledgeable person on your area of expertise, which are psychology and human behavior. You did a lot of research, you gathered a lot of information technically and scientifically in your speech. So what I love about your speech is that you have a good structure. You make use of the acronym CLAP to elaborate your communication styles point by point on how, what, and why. You even concluded with the same acronym to encourage and remind the audience. I easily follow through your speech because, and I understand your communication style as a person. Your second strength is you have good audience engagement. You have good pacing. You have placed your pauses correctly to emphasize, to connect, and to bring out your messages throughout your speech. You have also a good facial expression. This is portrayed when you show us the annoying face when your child was crying. So you brought us through your speech, and I feel what you feel, I see what you feel, I see what you see in that circumstances. To bring your speech to the next level and to elevate the audience engagement, I feel that you may work to need more on your body language, especially your hand gestures, because your hand gestures is not aligned with the message that you want to bring out. And sometimes you are not confident in using your hand gestures. For example, when you are talking about the acronym CLAP, you are showing your fingers one by one to show the acronym. But then I feel like when the moment you show your hand gestures, you were not confident enough. So the implication was I was a bit overwhelmed because I wasn't sure whether I wanted to focus on your body language or focus on your context. Then the second point of improvement, you have partially met your purpose statement, but you didn't tell us your communication style after your survey. Example, you shall begin by introducing your communication style, such as analytical, before you further elaborate and connect with your acronym CLAP with your style. So by doing so, you establish a good grounds for your audience and you so that the audience could follow through your points, your structures, and even the bring home message. All in all, you have good structure, good audience engagement. To elevate your audience engagement, you may need to align your body language with your content and tell us your communication beforehand. You have really improved a lot, Juliana, in terms of pacings, and I hope that you could gain much more improvement in your next speech. Thank you. Back to you, Charlie.
Thank you very much, Ming Yan, for such a good evaluations. Okay, from your evaluations, I can feel that you are really paying attention to Juliana's speech, because while Juliana delivering her speech, right, I'm actually watching you. You listen intently and then try your best to point out what and how she can improve. You even highlight how important body language are to her speech. And not only that, your evaluation, the pacing is good and it's easy for us to follow, because the evaluations, you didn't use a lot of jargon. You just use a very simple language for us as an audience to understand. So good job for that. Thank you very much, Ming Yan. And our last evaluator, may I have our Duncan who are evaluating Mingwu.
Thank you, Charlene. So charismatic as always. All right, Minvo, it's really truly a real privilege to evaluate your first ever virtual speech, and especially every speech from you. Of course, it's going to be a very entertaining one. So to carry on to that, what I love is that you use humor as a hook, like just to let you know I exist. So in that way, it emotionally hooks people in. And humor, it breaks the rhythm of the stories that you tell as we experienced it throughout your story. It's layered with humor after humor after humor. And that creates a level of unpredictability, and it makes people extremely curious about what you would say next. And the next thing that I would love to commend you is that one of the common mistakes that I see when people tell a story is that they tell it from the eye of a reporter, which means that tell a story from a third-person perspective, not very emotional. But what you did was that you shared it through the eye of a writer, which means that you relive the story, you don't just tell it. In that way, it makes your story very relatable. I was looking at the chat and there were some people that say, wow, very relatable, your story. And the relevance angle is really, really powerful because it makes you more magnetic. And that is how you emotionally pull the audience towards you. And one thing that I would also love to commend you on is you are truly a master at it, which is you are a master of using the friend archetype. And how do you identify that is through the body language is very relaxed and there's a lot of melody, like you're very confident with what you're saying. So, and then the humor that you use, it's a lot of bold humor. Like for example, you said it's some things are more difficult than getting the Pfizer vaccine, not in a Korean way. You also tease the audience a little bit. So what that did for you is that you created a certain charisma for yourself. By doing so, you did that by making the audience feel good by listening to you. And that's what true charisma is. You make your audience feel good. And that's what you did masterfully. So one recommendation that I would give you is to inject more variety in your volume and pitch, because throughout your speech, it was a little bit on the high note all the time. It's always on this side, so there is no layering like an oscilloscope, right? So for example, you can, one way that you could implement it is like when you talk about the elevator one, hey bro, you haven't pressed your floor. I'm in the same floor as you, bro. So this kind of break, it brings a new element of surprise in terms of the volume and melody as well. It keeps a new level of surprise to your story, which is what would support you better. So in all, what you did great was that you used humor as a hook as always. You have a masterful use of a friend archetype, and also you told the story from the eye of a writer. So what could elevate your speech is by injecting more variety in your volume and pitch specifically. So with that, Vinbu, I enjoyed your speech very much. I hope to have the opportunity to listen to more of your speeches. Hopefully this is the first of many virtual or physical speeches, yeah? All right, thank you very much, and back to you, Charlene.
Thank you very much, our evaluator Duncan. As always, your evaluations amaze me because the way you evaluate is very encouraging and is very personal, and you are able to dissect Minggu's speech very deep and tell us that wow, how important these eyes of a writer. You know, you should speak from the eyes of the writer and how this humor can elevate his speech. And you are able to add it with a good conclusions and summarize it in one or two sentences on how he can do good and how he can improve his speech. So kudos to you, Duncan. Thank you very much. And now, after hearing from our 4 evaluators, so it's time for us to hear from our role players, because beside our evaluators, we also have our grammarians, accountant, and timekeeper who will be presenting their reports to you. So now I would like to invite our grammarian, Hema, to
Charlene, do
yes.
we vote for the evaluator?
Oh yeah, I have forgotten. Yeah, it's time for us to vote for our best evaluator for tonight. So can I have the poll right now? Ding, 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 ding. So we have EJ, Vance, Mingyan, and Duncan. So it's time for you to pick who is the best evaluator. So guys, you have 5 more seconds to pick your best choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, all right, thank you very much for your voting. And now let us welcome our grammarian for tonight, Hema.
Hi, thank you so much, Charlene. Good evening, everyone. It's me again, the police for grammar today. So before I present the report, I would like to embolden everybody to unmute yourself to say the word of the day. On my count, 1, 2, 3.
Embolden. Embolden.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I should have done it at the beginning. And let me share screen for today. It's my first time. It was really tough. Everyone was really good with the things that you've selected, the speech. Can everyone see my report? We had a few who actually spoke, mentioned the word of the day, which is Diane. Hasnul said it twice, and EG also mentioned. And misused words, I think there was very colloquial champa. We can say try or throw in. Very more better would be better. Very relate is very relatable. And if I go over to this side, always. Some sentences like 1,000 of words, 1,000 words, the rider has fallen down, the rider has fallen down, or the rider has crashed. Control pass to you back, pass the control back to you or over to you. Let me highlight it. Who never met me before, who has never meet me before, who has not met me before. There were some outstanding sentences which was really nice, especially with our theme called inspiration. So Leonard said a very nice sentence such as, mentoring is a brain to pick, a ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. ASEAN said, take charge of your life. Also, there is a huge amount of freedom will come to you when you take nothing personally. I think a lot of people related to that. Juliana said, stop, listen, and hold up. Another one was clap. Everyone relate to that as well. Minwoo, I found this very cute and funny. Even if you are 50, you are still a child to your mom. And the weather is the same every year, just like my salary. That's all for today. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, our English teacher, Hema. Thank you for such a detailed report on our grammar. One suggestion to you is that next time try to mention the words of the day earlier so that everyone is aware. And during the TME, when she invite you to explain your role, right, that's the time for you to explain the words of the day and also ask them to say it once with you, not at the end of the meeting. Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Hema. Now I would like to invite our counter, Oli.
Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Charlene. I'll be sharing my report now.
Ollie, you're on mute, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be sharing my report now. This counter report is divided into a few colors for easy reference. In terms of yellow color, it's the report is divided into a few colors that mark when they most do the speech. The yellow color, it's when they do table topics. Each stripe marks the time when crutch or repetitive words are being picked up. So as you can see, these are spontaneous deliveries. So it tends to be more clutches word there. What we can see from the green color is with respect to planned speaker, and most of them shows good controls of use of clutches words. I particularly wanted to emphasize that Juliana did use repetitive words, but not for the purpose of rattling, but for the purpose of getting attentions, and it is a very good use. And that's for me. Thank you. Okay, we get rattled when we speak. So either when we are nervous, distracted, or at a loss of words for what comes next. It's very easy for us to lean on these filler words. What we can do is simply to slow down. To eliminate such words, try replacing them with a pause. Train yourself to do this. I have 3 pointers here. First, we need to be aware. We need to identify the crutches words. And what we can do is we can try, whenever we are aware of such repetitive words, we give ourselves a tap. And the second, once we become aware of these words, then as they try to escape our lips, try to force ourselves to be silenced, equivalent to a pause. Finally, practice makes perfect. Thank you. Back to you, Charlene.
Thank you very much, Ollie. Thank you for being such a dedicated R counter. Sometimes it's not easy to catch the RW clutches of our club member, and it takes a lot of practice. And I also like how you present your report. Instead of just present the R number of R, then you share with us the tips on how we can reduce the filler words or how we can be better, okay, on this R counter method. So thank you for that. All right, and now I would like to invite our timekeeper, our Mr. Rolex, Sloan, to present his report.
All right. Thank you, our GE Charlene. So I'm grateful that today all of us have started the meeting exactly on time, 8 o'clock. And then Suwan has used about 12 minutes for his president address. Kim Leong has used 2 minutes and 50 seconds for his toast ceremony. Rachel has used about 10 minutes for her TME and role player introduction. So for our table topic, first speaker Duncan has used about 1 minute 30 seconds. Matthew, 1 minute 10 seconds. Yi, 54 seconds. Nicholas, 1 minute and 16 seconds. Moving up next, we have our assignment speeches. Leonard, 5 minutes 7 seconds, a little bit over time. ASEAN, 6 minutes. Juliana, about approximately 8 minutes, a little bit over time. Minwoo, 7 minutes 32 seconds. And moving on, we have our evaluator. So our first evaluator, EJ, 3 minutes. Vance, 3 minutes 30 seconds. Mingyan, 2 minutes 40 seconds. Duncan, 3 minutes 30 seconds. And for our grammarian report, Hema, you have completed your speech in 2 minutes 44 seconds. Oli, 2 minutes 70 seconds. And I'm about to conclude my report, so I will be 1 minute 30 seconds. And thank you so much. And back to you, our GE, Charlene.
Thank you very much, Sloan. Thank you for helping us to keep track of the time diligently. And not only that, you also keep track of your own timing, because sometimes as a timer, we will forget to keep track of our own time. So it's good to take note on that. As a timer, you also need to take note of your own timing. Yeah, thank you very much, Sloan. Now it's my time to evaluate the meeting as a whole. So our meeting actually starts sharp 8 p.m. As always, we are punctual animal, okay? And our SAA, Ashu, you are such a natural speaker. Why I say so? Because you start off the meeting confidently. With your loud and clear voice, you commanded our attentions. When you speak, we know that, okay, it's time to start the meeting. It's time for us to pay attention. And you also are brief us the house rules that we should follow. But one thing that you should improve is that try to understand your role earlier, because I can see that you keep looking at your script. So it makes me feel that you are actually last minute, like go and understand your role. So it's good to understand and find out your role early, and also read through your script. At least you don't need to keep referring to your notes. Yeah. And now for our president's speech, Suwan. Wow, Suwan, our Doraemon. He appeared in the virtual scene handsomely with poise. Why I say so? Because the way he dressed professionally, and he spoke with authority. When you speak, we know that, hey, this guy is our president. We should pay respect to him. And then you open your speech by sharing a story that is related to our today's theme. And then you interact with our club member by asking them who inspired you. And you also interact and address our guests for tonight. Ask them to speak, ask them to address themselves. Instead of letting them sitting silently, you make them speak. Okay, thank you very much to set the tone of the meeting well. And now for our toaster, Kim Leong. I believe that this is your first time doing toasting, right? I think so, right? Because your toasting is very encouraging. But perhaps one thing that you should improve is that I feel that your toast is very monotonous. Why I say monotonous? Because I feel that a robot is speaking to me. Maybe next time when you give a toast, you try to play around with your vocal variety. Okay, you read through your script, highlight those important points. Okay, and then when you want to speak out the important point, maybe you try to increase your volume to emphasize that, hey, this point is important, to enhance the message to us. Okay, and try not to depend on the screen too much, because I know that you're actually looking at the screen, the script is just in front of you. Okay, try not to depend on the script too much. And for our Rachel TME, wow, I would say that as a first time TME, you have done a good job. Why I say so? Because you know that before our meeting, I believe that some of you have received her message asking, hey, who inspired you? Can you share with me? And then you ask them earlier, you understand your role, and then you prepare well. And then you share your thought, and also what makes you feel, or maybe your stories that is related to our tonight's topic. And then you hype us up with your energy. Okay, you have this kind of charm that can appeal people, that can attract and absorb people to your conversation. You have such a sweet and lovely voice. And perhaps one thing is that maybe you try to help the grammarian to emphasize the words of the day also, so that we at least know what is going on, because sometimes beside grammarian, TME also has the responsibility to explain the words of the day, so that everyone will remember deeply that embolden is the word of the day. And for our table topic, Master Hasno, thank you very much for such a brain tickling session. Why I say so? Because your picture is so juicy, it's so colorful. You make all the speakers think that they are really the reporter. And I believe everyone has fun in delivering the speech impromptu, and they really got that 2 minutes to feel that, wow, they're really the reporter of that day. Okay, so now for those table topic speakers, so it's time for you to think whether is it time for you to change your job to become a news reporter. Yeah, okay. And of course, for our table topic evaluator, Diane, as always, your evaluation is like a doctor. Why I say doctor? Because you diagnose the speaker's speech very deep and sharp and on point. Everything that you spoke is so structured and detailed. You're able to highlight one strength and one weakness of each speakers and tell them how they should improve. It's like the medicine that boosts up and elevates their speech. Okay, so after tonight, I believe all the speakers have this idea on what they should do in order for them to improve better for their next table topic session. So overall, I really like our meeting. Just like EE said last time, coming back to Elite Toastmasters meeting is like coming back home. And thank you very much for such an encouraging and enlightening meeting for tonight. And now it's me to pass back the control to our TME for tonight, Rachel.
Thank you, Charlene. What an amazing evaluation session. Now we have just completed 3 rounds around the track, and the next is the moment that we've all been waiting for, and that is the results for the best speaker, evaluator, and table topic speaker. So who will take the 3 spaces on the podium today? First up, announcing the best table topic speaker. Before that, can I have our, comms out? All right, thank
Accidentally
you.
see already.
It's okay, I haven't seen it yet. I don't think other people have seen it yet too. Okay, announcing our best table topic speaker.
Woo!
Goes to EE. Congratulations, EE.
You work with her TV too much, that one.
All right.
Wait. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right. And the next award is the Best Speaker, the Best Prepared Speech Speaker Award. And this goes to Ingu.
Puyo, so fit.
Okay, 1.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay, and finally for the Best Evaluator. And the Best Evaluator goes to Duncan. Congratulations,
Duncan, bagi chance.
Okay. Don't worry. Okay, Rachel, you will be in the picture as well. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, thanks.
All right, congratulations to all the winners for tonight, and for those who did not win, don't be disheartened because it is not a competition. What's most important is that we challenge ourselves and embolden each other to be better each time. Before I pass my time over to President Suwan for his final words, I would just like to thank the role players, my pit crew and race control who has made this very smooth and I would call it data-driven meeting. Everyone's role is really pivotal to the success of this meeting. And I would also like to thank all of you, my dear members and audience members, for really giving me the opportunity to be your TME for the evening. I had a lot of fun and I hope that you had fun too. With that said, I would like to pass my mic over to our Toastmaster, President Suwan. Over to you.
Thank you, Rachel. You wouldn't know that it's actually Rachel's first time being a TME, right? Let's give Rachel a big round of applause, or just unmute yourself, or just give a reaction. Hey, good job, Rachel. You know, when Rachel hosting all the event, you can feel relaxed, you can enjoy at the same time, and you don't feel stressed. And that is the spirit of Elite Toastmaster Club. And beside Rachel, I would like to give credit to our first timer today as well, for our grammarian, Hema, for being first time grammarian. Good job, Hema. Yeah. And lastly is also our first timer. There's one more. Yeah, Oli. Oli is our new member. Welcome to the club, Oli. And good job being the first time R counter. Good. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our meeting, but before that, perhaps we can get some of our comments and feedback from our guests. Natasha, you want to go first?
Hi everyone, thank you for today. I had a really great time and you guys inspire me with all of your stories, your themes, your inspirations, and I really enjoyed it a lot. And I think I'm going to join again. And I really had fun. Thank you so much for today. I really had a great time. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. You're more than welcome to join us again. And our next guest, Tay. Yes, Tay, you are still here?
Hi. Yeah. Happy to join here tonight to learn from all you.
Yep. Thanks, Tay. This is your second time. More than welcome to join us again. And thank you. And we have Gino. Gino is our first timer. Hi, Gino.
Hi. Thanks for all members sharing and the presentation tonight. Very great. Yeah, back to you.
Thanks, Gino. And we have our brave soul, Matthew. Hi, Matthew.
Hi. Okay, so this is my second time. I think I'm starting to find the fun to join these sessions, and definitely I will come again. A lot of the takeaway from these two sessions that I joined. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthew. You're more than welcome to join us again. And do keep in touch with our VPM, Ashley. She's not here today, so you can always text her to know more about our club. And ladies and gentlemen, yeah, one thing about feedback, I remember the world champion of public speaking of 2019, if you still remember Aaron Bevery. I attend some of his talk and he actually don't like feedback. He said that feedback is very personal and I like my speech more. But we do ask him, who is your best evaluator so far? And he said himself. He is his best evaluator. So ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to evaluation, when it comes to taking feedback, don't take it personally. And most important thing is keep on striving to be better today than yesterday. And with today's theme of inspiring, but before going into the theme, perhaps I would like to share some of the upcoming event. Are you guys excited? No, not excited. Okay, never mind.
Very excited.
Very excited. All right. Let me share my screen for a moment. Mingyan, if I missed out anything, just notch me on that. And the first one is a Toastmaster wears many hats. So this event will be happen on the last Thursday of this month, where we will be focusing on 3 roles, which is the Toastmaster of the evening, General Evaluator, and also Speech Evaluator. So for these 3 roles, on that day, we will dive in depth into learning how to mastering all these roles. And most importantly, everybody can evaluate the TME and everybody can evaluate the General Evaluator. So we have very experienced mentors to share us how to tackle and how to master these 3 roles. It will happen on this Thursday. Oh, sorry, not this Thursday, the last Thursday of this month. And next up, on Speechcraft or related public speaking training. Yes, for new members, for example, ASEAN, Kim Leong, we heard you. You're asking for more training on how to ace the public speaking skill and how to go in depth on each of the elements of public speaking. For example, the pace, the volume, the pitch. And with that, we actually asked our master in this, Duncan, on conducting the training, or Master Chen Jun. But both of them actually recommend their master to come to train us. And their master, ladies and gentlemen, is also the master of Simbok San. If you know Simbok San is actually the mentor for Mas Mahade, which is the district champion. And on that note, we are planning on the intensive communications training, which consists of 5 modules, the basics, worker foundations, worker archetypes, which Duncan has mentioned just now, storytelling, and lastly, body language. And this 5 modules we are planning on conducting in the month of October. Perhaps I can call Duncan to share with us his experience on how he actually went through all this training and his transformations. Duncan?
To give a bit of context, right? So I was literally the first batch of students who joined this course when it was online last year in May. And it elevated a lot of the things that I do in my speech. So the powerful part about this is that in Pathways, we focus a lot on the technicalities of how do you write a good speech, how do you deliver a good speech. But the powerful stuff about this course is that it focuses a lot on the fundamentals. And it talks a lot about this thing where our voice, that he called Vin Jiang, by the way, is a trainer for this one. He calls the voice a leader's instrument. Our voice has the power to influence, and it depends on how we use it. It's not enough to just write a good speech. We have to learn how to deliver a good speech. Yeah, so I can say nothing at all, but it still sounds inspiring. And that's because of the power of the voice. So this is where this training is all about. And if you notice a lot of my evaluation for Min, right? If you see a lot of the stuff that I shared is inside, like how the melody, the pitch, the vocal archetypes, how do you use your voice to inspire? So a lot of it is inside one. So please do join it. Don't miss it.
Okay, with that being said, thank you, Duncan. Perhaps Ashu can help me to pull up the polls to check whether which day are you more convenient on attending this training, and give us a glimpse on how to arrange this training. Ashu? And thank you. You can choose the option over there. It might not be the finalized one, but it gives us a glimpse on how on when we can schedule this in. Okay, I see most of you has voted. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, with that being said, public speaking without practice is like going to the theory class. And we are organizing our international speech and evaluation contest on November 13. On this contest, it will be showcase our talent and our elite Toastmaster Club capability, where the winners will be represent us going for the area, subsequently the divisions, and finally the district, and hopefully international stage. And the requirement for international speech contestant is to complete pathway level 2. If you are on that level 1 or level 2, if you want to join into this international speech contest, do speak with our Vice President of Vice President of Education, Ming Yen, how to complete the level 2 as soon as possible. Right, and there's no requirement for evaluations. Anyone can participate on the evaluation contest. Also, one note on all this event is only for our club members. Sorry, guests. So it's only for our members. And of course, you are more than welcome to join us on the meeting again. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for my announcement. Ming Yen,
Not to
yes.
forget, everyone, remember to renew your membership with us. Stay with us.
Thank you, Ming Yen. If you enjoy our club, I hope you do, please renew your memberships. Do talk to our treasurer, Iceland, if you have any trouble on renewing it. And do renew before 25th latest of this month. Thank you very much. And lastly, my closing speech. Today, we see a lot of improvement, especially I would like to give big credits to Juliana. Juliana, are you still here? Hi, Juliana.
Yes, still here. Saving some bandwidth.
You know, the first speech Juliana gave, right? I couldn't understand any single thing. It's like listening to a rap song. It was so fast. But if you see Juliana today, she kept her pose, she kept her pace, and she doesn't read note, and she being very present in presenting the whole speech. Good job, Juliana. Please keep that up.
Thank you so much, Suwan. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. And we also seen some of the step up from our members as well, like the first timer, as I mentioned, and also our general evaluator, Charlene. Charlene has been our bubbling and our energetic general evaluator. It's never boring listening to Charlene. Good job, Charlene. Yep, so much improvement. Ladies and gentlemen, I still remember two advice that my gym senior and coaches gave me. The first advice is, Suwan, you must live as if you are going to die. Huh? Live as if I'm going to die? Yes, because that is the fact. So before you expired, how much you have contributed, how much you have give, and how much you have inspired, because that's what matter at the end of our life. We wouldn't remember much of the money. You don't want your bank account to be crafted on your tombstone. What do you see most of the tombstone wrote? A lovely father, a caring mother, a compassionate friend. So, ladies and gentlemen, who have you inspired? Or I would like to say, how much have you give? How much have you contributed? How much have you built your legacy to in order for you to be inspired and to inspire? Thank you very much. With that, I would like to call our meeting to an end. Thank you very much. And today we have a chilling section where we have take a 5-minute break. You can stay on after that. I believe Yi has a lot thing to talk to us. Yi, no, you're still busy. And if you have or if you have any questions to ask Duncan, or you just want to be chilling around, feel free to do so. But before that, we take a 5 minutes break. You can have a break and drink something.